Hello everybody, welcome back to another video and podcast from Fantasy Football Scout. Just a quick one this afternoon, but because we have price reveals, myself and Sam thought we'd hop on here for 20 minutes, timing it at 3 o'clock. We think if they're going by the same logic of, is it half an hour after the poll, then we will get another one at 3 o'clock, hopefully. And Ait Nouri is currently winning that poll by a fair way.
By a fair way.
Yeah.
There'd have to be a hell of a lot of people getting there now.
Yeah. So we could possibly have a live price reveal at 3 o'clock. Focal's in the chat. Good stuff. Oscar plugging the Fantasy Football Scout members area this morning with a cracking video on Twitter. So thanks for that.
Legend. Oscar is a legend. While you're going over there to follow Oscar, sign up as a Fantasy Football Scout member through his link as well. You get 47% off. It's a bargain at the minute, Tom.
Yeah, it is a bargain. On the screen, Sam, Isak, 10.5 million. Thoughts? Are you going to pick him?
No, but not because I think it's an unfair price. I think it's a fair price. Like, in my head, I was thinking probably 10.5 is probably where they're going. It makes sense. It does make you look back on his price from last season, doesn't it, at 8.5 and go, blimey.
Yeah,
that was a bit of a bargain. That was a bit of a steal. I don't think I'll go there simply because I think with the announcements that we had over the last couple of days, particularly the double chips one, I'm looking at a bench boost strategy, and I don't necessarily think, therefore, that I want to go really heavily investing in Newcastle to start the season. That doesn't mean that I won't go there. And what I'm hoping it means is that other people do go there, and then he takes a couple of price drops. And before I know it, he's like, I don't know, 10.2, 10.3, and then I can invest at that point. But there's also a lot of uncertainty with him at the moment. Like, is he going to stay at Newcastle? Will he be somewhere else? So I think while that uncertainty's in the air, I'll probably avoid. But I do like the price point, though. I think 10.5 is a really nice price for him in terms of, I think it's fair. And I think it also means that he won't be that, I doubt if he's going to be really, really heavily owned either now, because you're going to have to make a reasonable choice. That's a good chunk of your budget, isn't it? 10%.
Yeah. Same price as Palmer and Saka, do you think? Like, about that ballpark would seem fair. Penalty taking premiums.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, we had that last year, didn't we? We had them all sort of coming in around that price point, the premium ones, and he's done enough to be level with them. So yeah, I guess so. I guess we'd expect them in and around that price point. Does him being a forward make him less attractive, though, if they were to come in at that price?
I don't think so, because he scored 8 more goals than Palmer last year. So I think that it's the same price more than makes up for it. Do drop a like and subscribe, guys. Focal in the chat. Lewis is in the chat. FFC Lewis. Harry Maguire's in the chat. Not that one, I don't think. Drop us a comment in the chat how much you think Ait Nouri will be if they do drop it at 3 o'clock. 6 or 5.5, most people seem to think. So yeah, Isak, that's a good price, I think.
Yeah, I think so. The reason I asked the question about the forward thing is I wonder whether we might see a move towards the defenders with the defensive contributions, and therefore might we see less people wanting to invest more heavily up top, and then if there's a choice between, do you go for the forwards in the kind of expensive position, or do you go for the midfielders? My preference has always been to go for the midfielders because the additional points for things like clean sheets, and so I guess that might, if we end up looking like we're going to be going more heavily on defenders this year, and again, I guess that depends on prices, and we can talk about that hopefully in 3 minutes when we see a defender price, if it comes out as we're expecting, then I don't know. It's a lot, isn't it? But it's worth it, I think. It's just, can you budget for him? It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be in our teams at some point this year. And just on the forward poll that they did on the WhatsApp channel, João Pedro was in the forward poll, which means he's a forward. I guess it probably wasn't at risk, but after he started, started 3 times for Chelsea as a number 9. What would I pay for João Pedro? I mean, how much was Jackson last year? 7? And I think we're going to be better, so 7 or 7.5 would make sense to me. Probably priced Delap, Jackson, João Pedro all at 7 or 7.5.
You put them all at the same price. That would make sense, wouldn't it?
especially because Jackson could, like, there's rumours of Man United today, so you can't really make Jackson too cheap in case he leaves or goes to Villa. We got a couple of minutes before we hopefully get another price, so let's... Who else was on that poll? Wood, Watkins, Mateta. I guess Watkins was more expensive than Isak last year. That's obviously not going to be the case this year.
No, I sort of wanted the Watkins price, actually. When I was looking at that poll, I was thinking, do I want... Because Isak, I knew I probably wasn't going there based upon the stuff that we'd had announced with the chip. So I was like, whereas Villa they ride quite high in the fixture ticker over the opening weeks when you look on the FFS members area. So I was kind of interested to have Watkins. So I was a bit, when it was Isak, I was like, oh, what if I ever had Watkins? But
would you pay 9 for Watkins?
Got to be less, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think...
By the back end of last season, he was less than 9, wasn't he?
I think 9's a fair price. Because there's always a chance he goes to Arsenal as well.
I tell you what, though, if you got the Arsenal striker and he was 9, that would be excellent, wouldn't it? Yeah, I guess so. I guess 9 would be fair. I mean, in my head, I'm kind of sitting here thinking, wouldn't 8.5 be lovely? But I don't think he's done anything to deserve that much of a decrease in reality, particularly towards the back end of the season when he was much, much better, wasn't he? When Rashford, and obviously Rashford's not going to be there. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think 9. I mean, it's 1.5 million cheaper than Isak, though, if he was 9.
Yeah, but no penalties either.
No, that's true. That's true. That does make a big difference. And we have seen in the past that the penalty takers always do seem to get a little bit of a bump, don't they, over the others. So, yeah.
Yeah. So Isak, we're both happy with that, I think. Fair price. I haven't seen much discontent anywhere, to be fair. Yeah, as Mohammed says in the chat, drop a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel, and it's now 3 o'clock. I've got the WhatsApp in my hand.
What's it saying, Tom?
It hasn't posted yet.
Come on,
yeah, it's just dropped. Ait Nouri 6 million. So, I mean, 6 million. I'll get the graphic on screen for the viewers, but 6 million. I think that's fair. I mean, obviously, like, goes without saying. If he plays regular minutes, he's going to be a good asset. Like, that obviously goes without saying. Will he start? I don't know. I mean, he's obviously...
This means for Gvardiol?
He's going to be better than Gvardiol if he plays left. If they both play, isn't he? Because Ait Nouri's not going to be the centre back. So I think they should probably be the same price. What do you think? Reaction to that?
Yeah. I'm a bit torn on this one because obviously it's Man City, so I was expecting a big rise for Ait Nouri from his Wolves price when he's playing for City. There's something reassuringly expensive about Gvardiol most seasons, isn't there? There's that, like, well, he seems to be less at risk of the Pep roulette, I guess, because he's got those 2 different positions that he can play in, whereas with Ait Nouri, is there more potential rotation there? So to pay 6 million for a defender that might be rotated more always feels a little bit risky. I can see myself going there, Tom.
I mean, if he's going to play, he's going to be a great pick. He got 2 assists in the Club World Cup. He's not a forward that Pep can... He's not a defender that Pep can ask to defend. You know, he's not... I think it's hard to imagine this. I think if he plays, that it means the system will be geared towards him. He's not a defender
that Pep can ask to defend.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if he plays, it's going to be...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He's going to be bombing on. Like, if he wants a more defensive-minded pick, he'll pop Gvardiol at left back. You know, like... If he starts, he's going to be a good asset, but I think it's hard to imagine at this stage he's going to be like a really safe bet to start. I mean, Lewis in the chat is saying 5.5 million would have taken account rotation. 6 is a bit annoying.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that. Like, in my head, I would expect that if I pick Gvardiol, I'd get most game weeks. I'll get him starting either at centre back or in the wing back position. I would think I'd get something out of him for most of the games. Whereas with with Ait Nouri, I do worry that there is a risk that some games Gavardia will play in that position and he'll be on the bench. And if you paid 5.5 million for it, maybe you're less upset by that. Whereas if you paid 6 million, I think maybe you're more upset by that. And then again, like obviously most of us now, I think we'll be looking at a bench boost game week 1 strategy. So you want wherever possible to avoid that risk of rotation, right? Because the last thing you want is to have FPL kick off on Friday evening with the Liverpool game, get to the Man City game, and 90 minutes before get team news that he's not playing, and then you're like up the creek without a paddle, right? So I don't know. I'd have liked 5.5, but maybe I'm like, the more I think about it, the more I think it's reasonable. It's reasonable that he would be 6 million because he plays for a
I think it's
premium
reasonable. I just don't
defence.
see it maybe. But it's like they can't price players on rotation speculation. They've got to price them as the asset they actually are. Like if I told you that Cucurella scored 5 goals last year. He's Chelsea's only left back. He's probably going to be 6, maybe 5.5 if you're really lucky. But like you're not going to pick. That's the thing. Like you're not going to pick Cucurella over Ait Nouri if you're not sure on minutes, are you?
No.
And like, I mean, somebody like Porro, I mean, he's probably going to be cheaper. So.
Yeah, I mean, he was 5.5 last year, so assume he. I mean, you can't put him up, can you?
No, for sure.
Did you see the Spurs defence? They were
Sam,
terrible.
You saw that more than most.
I watched it every single week. It was dreadful. Although, did keep a clean sheet yesterday in our first pre-season friendly, so that's nice.
Against?
Maybe against Reading.
Good. League One.
Your neck of the woods. Neck of the woods.
Yeah, I can see the stadium from my window.
Do you know what? I could have sent you over there. You could have done some scouting for us, couldn't you? You could have gone over there, done a bit of scouting. You could have done that from the stands. Come on, multitask,
it's a bit of trouble,
Thomas.
apparently. Bit of fighting. Anyway, so I think we both kind of say, welcome, Philip, Fantasy Football Scout YouTube member, just joined. Thank you very much.
Oh,
we
welcome.
will have some exclusive announcements for members soon, so do sign up to that if you're interested. Speaking of signing up to stuff, we will give a bit of a shout out to the Fantasy Football Scout members area, which is currently 47% off. The price will rise when the game goes live, so it's not going to be cheaper. All the defensive contribution data is probably the most immediately useful tool in there. So do check that out via the link in the description. Charlotte in the chat asking how often are they being revealed. Well, I think we've got one more today. Is that right?
Yeah, they said 4, didn't they, in
they said
WhatsApp? They said they were going to do 4 prices. And it's been like they've been like half an hour gaps, hasn't there? Between them
12,
in the poll
half
up.
1 and 3. So you'd guess half 4 from that pattern. And it's going to be a midfielder, right? One for each position. So there could be one more today. Yeah.
Do we get Salah in it? Do you reckon? Will Salah be in that poll?
Don't know. We'll see. But we'll have Chai and Gianni reacting later at 6 p.m. to everything we've heard this weekend. But we're going to wrap up this stream with a bit of Pickford chat, the third and final price reveal. The third price reveal we've had today, one more to come. 5.5 million. I think for me, this is like twofold. The first fold is it's completely deserved because he's the top scoring keeper for 2 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you can't argue that he's what we think would be the highest priced keeper because they haven't priced a 6 million keeper for, like, 3 years. But 2, no one's going to pick him. Would be my take.
Yeah, because if the logic follows that they don't have a 6 million goalkeeper because they haven't for the last 3 years, then you're talking about Pickford being the same price as Raya, Alisson, Ederson. Did you put anyone else in there? Sells after last season?
Not Sells, no. Really? I mean, it took Pickford 2 years of being the best goalkeeper to get that price tag. Definitely not Sells.
All right, so if you put... Well, let's just take those 3 then, the 3 most premium. Ederson, Alisson, Raya. If you put Pickford in alongside them, are you going to pick him over picking one of those guys? Now, I guess the question is, do we see more value in picking... Yeah, do we see more value in picking an Everton defender? But also, do we see more value in picking players from Like, would we want 3 outfield Arsenal players, 3 outfield Man City players, 3 outfield Liverpool players? So would that rule out the goalkeepers? Like, maybe, but
But I mean,
I
you're
can't see a
probably going
world
to
where
get
I'd pay
Everton
5.5
defenders for
million.
less than 5.5, aren't you? You would think. Some of them, anyway. Like
Yeah,
Mykolenko.
I would have thought so.
And then you're going to probably have like Sanchez of Chelsea at 5, who, you know, they kept the most clean sheets second half of last season. It's a good stat, that, for Chelsea fans.
I mean, there's your Chelsea fan coming out. I guess that's the thing, isn't it? And it really depends on your strategy with goalkeepers, right? And I'm the worst person to talk to about goalkeepers because they trolled me for the entirety of last season. But I think you have to make a decision at the beginning of the season. And right now, if you said to me today, right, Sam, here's Pickford, even after all the great stuff that he did last season. And by the way, he would have been one of the players that did get an additional assist last season. So he would have got more points from that. He would have picked up one of them. The only goalkeeper that would have picked up an assist out of the 41. So, you know, you do have that to his game. We did have a couple out of him last year, plus this new one. So I think I don't love the price, but I think it's absolutely the right price. I think he deserves to be there. It's just I don't think he'll be very popular in the game. Maybe towards the latter part of the season, if Everton get a load of double game weeks, then maybe we might see the popularity of somebody like Pickford rising. But I just think that if you said to me right now, well, Sam, you can have Raya, Edison, Allison, or you can have Pickford, I know where I'll go, and it wouldn't be Pickford.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think it's probably deserved, but also kind of killed him as a pick for now.
Yeah.
Philip, our latest YouTube member, asks, what do you think Florian Wirtz will be? I think 9. Somewhere around that. 9.5.
9.
Just because of what he could be. Like, he's going to start. Diaz wants to leave. Nunez is being sold. Harvey Elliott wants to leave.
He's not going to have pens. He won't be on pens, so because he's playing with Salah. So that would suggest that he would come in cheaper than the Palmers and the Sackers. Yeah, maybe 9.5 is about right.
Yeah, there's definitely no more than 9.5.
No, I don't think he can be double digits, can he? That would feel a lot.
No,
I feel like that would price him out of the game, particularly new to the league.
Saka was 10 million last year. 8.5
Saka
would be
was 10,
tempting.
yeah.
You know?
And with it, what did they price Luis Diaz at last season? Was he 8.5 last year?
7.5, I'm pretty sure.
Was he?
Pretty sure.
Gonna have to look that up. 7.5. It's a bit of a bargain. He's not going to be that again, is he?
Diaz wants to leave.
But in terms,
you can check that out for Liverpool content.
And he is the one to go to. Like of all of our pundits, Mo is the Liverpool expert. Yeah, for sure.
So you think 9.5?
Yeah, the Liverpool players were cheaper actually looking at them than I remembered last season. Yeah, I think probably. I think it has to be, doesn't it? Frustratingly. Can we have him at 7? 6.5? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Make it really easy.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll misprice him.
Yeah, anyway, so that, I think we'll wrap it up there because we have discussed the 3 prices. We've hit 20 minutes. Check out the Fantasy Football Scout members area. He may have penalties when Salah's at AFCON. This could be a fair point. But yeah, check out the Fantasy Football Scout members area.
Yeah, but I don't think you can price it on that.
No, you can't, but it's a nice little bonus.
No. Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, do check out the members area for the discount. Stay tuned to the Premier League WhatsApp channel because we should be getting another poll and another prize today. And while you're on WhatsApp, give our own channel a follow. We've had a massive increase today. So thanks, Premier League, for doing your work on WhatsApp because we've benefited from that as well. So do get in that channel as well for some FPL tips straight to your DMs. Chai and Gianni are live at 6 o'clock reacting to all the live changes in our preview show for 25-26. But in the meantime, do subscribe, and we'll see you back on the channel very, very soon. Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, Tom. Bye, guys.